Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. Today we're gonna play another GTO trainer session. We're playing the big blind call versus button open spot, which is a tournament spot played on 50 big blind stacks, where the button open raises to 2.5 BBs, and we call from the big blind. We are only 4 sessions before the end of the spot, or 4 sessions away from the end of the spot, and we are really trying to get this number down to as small as possible. Hopefully we can have our perfect session this session, so let's jump right into it. And for our first hand we've got Queen 7 suited on a 3 deuce ace, so we're gonna check it and fold it. 7-5 off on an 8 jack ace is gonna be a check and a fold again. Pocket 5s on a queen ace 8 with 2 diamonds. We're gonna check and call. And it is not a call, should rather be a fold 100% of the time. And we've already made a mistake in our second hand or third hand. So not great, but hopefully this will be the only mistake that we make. We're gonna check on the ace of hearts. Villain checks behind. And we're gonna actually bet here because we have no chances of winning the pot if we don't bet, so I'm gonna overbet it here. And the villain calls with pocket kings. Okay. Ace 7 of spades on a 3-6-7. It's gonna be a check. The solver is doing 32% of betting, but the villain bets 5 BBs, so we're obviously going to call that. And we can see the solver actually likes raising here 64% of the time and calling 36% of the time. Queen of spades on the turn. I think we're gonna check it. Yeah, should be checking 99% of the time. And another queen on the river. So this time we're gonna donk bet it, I think. Or should it be a check? I'm gonna try donk betting here. Yeah, it should be a donk bet 68% of the time, but the villain folds. Ace 10 off on a 7-4 queen now. We're gonna check, and are we going to call here? I don't want to make another mistake. It's a tough call, but I'm gonna just fold it, and we should rather call 99% of the time. Folding here is a medium EV loss, but we can see the solver almost never doing that here with ace 10 of hearts. I think just the ace of hearts with the 2 hearts on the table makes this the call, but yeah, I don't know. 6-10 off on an 8 jack 7. We're gonna check and call with our gut shot, I think. Yeah, we hit it on the turn, so we're gonna check and go for a check raise. You can see the solver also leads here for 26% of the time. The villain checked behind though, so we gotta bet now, but how much? Perhaps an overbet? Okay, it's 39% of the time overbet, 19% of the time bet donk bet. So I guess the solver also likes to bet 3/4 here and check probably as well some percent of the time. And the villain actually called us with a 9, so that's great. Jack queen of spades on a 6 deuce 10. We're gonna check and call with our 2 overs. 8 of diamonds on the turn. Ooh, maybe this is a bet. Is it a bet sometimes? Probably so, but I'm just gonna check it to be safe. Yeah, it's not really a bet that often, 1.5% of the time. Ace of hearts on the river, and do we take a stop at this spot or do we check it? I think I'm gonna take a stop, donk betting, and that's a good play. The solver does it here 29% of the time, but ideal play is a check, played 48% of the time, and the villain actually has got an ace, so he was calling. 4-3-10, and we have king deuce of diamonds. I think we call here, right? Okay, we just call 2% of the time and fold 97, but calling is fine EV-wise, so we're happy about that. 8 of spades on the turn, we're gonna check and fold. Ace 9 off on a 5-9-5, we're checking. You can see the solver likes to bet on those low paired boards. When we hit it, 70% of the time it checks and 30% it bets. And I guess this is a raise also, right? Yeah, 94% of the time this should be a raise, and this should be a call just 6% of the time. King of hearts on the turn, we're gonna check. 86% of the time we should check here. Villain checks behind. Queen of hearts on the river, and we're checking again. And the villain shoves. Now do we call it or do we fold? I think we gotta call it. Yeah. But surprisingly, the solver calls it just 34% of the time here. So it is folding 65%. And the villain was doing that with 6-8 of hearts. Cool. Ace 5 suited on an ace 8 ace. Probably a check. Yeah. And just a call. 6 of spades on the turn. Now do we maybe lead out here sometimes? I'm gonna check it. Yeah, 97% check. Villain checks behind, and we've got a 9 of clubs on the river. So do we bet now or do we check? I think we gotta overbet it here, right? No, it should rather be a donk bet 54% of the time and overbet 8% of the time. But the villain folds. Queen 7 on an ace 4-7. It's gonna be a check and a call. 10 of hearts on the turn is a check again. Villain checks behind, and we've got another 10 on the river, and maybe we're donk betting it. Probably not, we're just checking, right? Yeah. Villain checks behind, and we take it down. King 7 off on an 8-4-6. We're checking. You can see the solver is betting here 24% of the time with this gut shot. Now do we call it here? Maybe we raise sometimes. I'm gonna call. Okay, we should actually fold 99% of the time this gut shot. Probably because the villain bet 5. Calling here is a small EV loss, and the solver only does it here less than 1% of the time. You've got a 3 of spades on the turn, so we're gonna check it, and we're gonna fold to the bet. Queen 9 off on a king jack 4, all hearts. We're checking and folding. The solver is calling here 78% of the time. Folding is not bad EV-wise, but just 16% of the strategy. King 7 off on a 9-9 jack. We're checking and folding. The villain checks behind. We pick up a double gut shot. Do we maybe overbet it here? No, we should rather bet a third of the pot, 62% of the time. Overbetting is very small EV loss, but just 0.45% of the strategy. It works though, because the villain folds. Now we've got 7-9 of clubs on a 9-king-3. We're gonna check. Villain checks behind. Jack on the turn. We're gonna check again. Villain checks behind again. And there's a 7 of hearts on the river. So we're gonna bet 3/4. Should rather bet a donk bet 54% of the time. Okay, villain folds. Deuce 8 of spades on a 6-5 ace is a check and a fold. Deuce 10 suited on a 6 deuce 7 is a check. Villain checks behind. 6 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check it, I think. Okay, we should bet 2, 88% of the time. Now the villain bets 2, and we're gonna call it. Jack of clubs on the river means we donk bet here. Okay, we check 74% of the time and donk bet it 26% of the time. And we actually get called by ace queen, so that's cool. Ace 10 of hearts on a 7-king-8 is a check. Villain checks behind. 7 of clubs on the turn. I'm gonna check again. The solver's doing 16% of betting. And we've got an 8 of hearts on the river, so we're gonna check it for the third time. And we're gonna call the overbet. And the villain's got pocket jacks. So, nice hand, sir. Ace 6 of clubs on a queen 9-7 with 2 clubs is gonna be a check and a call. We can see the solver is doing a lot of raising here, 80% of the time. 5 of diamonds on the turn. I think we're gonna check again. Yeah, the solver's doing 45% of betting here. Now, when the villain bets 7, I think we raise it here to 21, and that's the correct play. But the villain folds. Ace 10 off on a king 6 king. We're gonna check it and call the bet. 3 of clubs on the turn. We're gonna check again. Villain checks behind and a 4 of clubs on the river, so we are donk betting. Should rather be checking. Yeah, donk betting is a super rare play here. And a small EV loss. 5-7 of clubs on a deuce 4 jack. It's gonna be a check and a fold. Or a call, 44% of the time. Super weird hand to be calling or raising 50% of the time. But this is what the solver picks. Deuce 8 of clubs on a 9 deuce 8. We're gonna check it. Villain checks behind. We've got a 5 of hearts on the turn. I think we should probably overbet now, and we shouldn't. It's a small EV loss to overbet it here, and the solver never does that here. We should check 47% of the time, bet 53% of the time, but if we're betting, probably we should be betting a third of the pot or 3/4, not overbetting. Queen of hearts on the river, we're gonna check. And we're gonna call the 3/4 pot bet. And the villain's got us beat with turned and river to pair. Cool. 6-9 off on a 10-4-4 is a check. Villain checks behind. 7 of spades on the turn, giving us a gut shot. We're gonna try and take a stab at it now. Yeah, bet 2, 48% of the time. Villain calls. And there's a 3 of clubs on the river. So do we donk bet it here, or do we check? Or do we maybe overbet it? I think we donk bet it. Yeah, we should. And the villain folds. 9-3 of hearts on a deuce 10 queen is a check and a fold. King queen of diamonds on a 9-10 deuce. That's probably a bet too. It's not. It's a check 99% of the time. 4 of clubs on the turn. We're gonna check this time. We're gonna call the third pot bet. Deuce of diamonds on the river. And we're gonna donk bet it. And fall to the raise. Okay, we've played our 25 hands for the day, so let's exit the session, and our overall EV loss is much better. I mean, maybe not much better, but is okay. Our frequencies are a bit off. You can see we are too aggressive. 40% more aggressive here in this during this session than we should be. And we made this one quite substantial mistake on our third hand, and a couple smaller ones. So yeah, we just need to avoid those bigger ones, and we can bring this overall EV loss down during our last 3 sessions actually. So yeah, I think we can get it down to -25 if we play very, very well during those 3 last sessions. And we can see our aggression is way too big here. We should be checking and calling more. And we actually are also overfolding. Yeah, and betting or raising less we need to be. But cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a comment below. Just write GTO or ask a question if you have one. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. And check out some of my other playlists in the description of this video with previous GTO spots that we played, or with previous sessions of this particular spot. Really recommend it. It's a great tool to learn GTO, the GTO trainer. So yeah, check that out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Do you want to learn how to play PLO? Are you a beginner player who's never played Omaha before? Do you want to learn how to crush casual players easily? If so, this course is perfect for you. It's a crash course on Pot Limit Omaha dedicated for beginner players. You will learn all the fundamentals of PLO. You will learn what hands to play, when to play them, and how to play them. You will learn the basic strategies that allow you to be a winning player at your home games or microstakes online. If you want to learn PLO quickly and easily, get this course now at gokupoker.com.